today's video is about fire safety. This is our group members. This is a smoke detector. A smoke detector is a device that senses smoke, typically as an indicator of fire. Commercial security device issue a signal to a fire alarm control panel as a part of a fire alarm system.
What is actually happening in photoelectric fire alarms is the LED sends a beam of light, usually down a T-shaped chamber. Sitting at the bottom of the T is the photocell. When smoke enters the chamber, some of the light is scattered by the particles, with some rays getting sent down to the photocell. When this photocell detects light, it generates an electrical current that triggers the alarm at a certain threshold. Once that current stops, the smoke is cleared, the alarm will stop. Photoelectric detectors are better at detecting slow smoldering.
Okay, this is a fire extinguisher, and then this is the symbol of fire extinguisher. You can find a fire extinguisher in any kinds of commercial and industrial building. There are 4 types of fire extinguisher. The first one is water type. It is suitable for class A. And then the second one is the dry powder type. It is suitable for class A, B, and C. And the third one is carbon dioxide type. It is suitable for class E. And then this last one is foam type. It is suitable for class B.
Before using the extinguisher on a fire, look at the fire class symbols on the front label to make sure the extinguisher you have is suitable for the type of fire you're facing. The most common classes of fires are A, B, C, and K. Class A fires involve common combustibles like wood, paper, and tires. Class B fires involve flammable liquids like gasoline and petroleum oil. Class C ratings involve energized equipment or things that are plugged in, like appliances, computers, televisions, and electric machinery. Class K fires involve cooking oils and greases, like vegetable fats. Once you've determined that the extinguisher is the correct type for the hazard, proceed to operate the extinguisher using the pass technique to control and extinguish the fire. First, hold the extinguisher upright and pull the pin. Next, stand 8 to 10 feet from the fire and aim the nozzle at the base of the fire. Do not get too close or aim the nozzle too high. Once the nozzle is aimed at the base of the fire, squeeze the levers together to begin discharge of the fire extinguishing agent. Maintain your distance from the fire and sweep the nozzle from side to side, sweeping 3 to 6 inches beyond the right and left edges of the fire. Discharge the extinguisher until contents are exhausted to prevent reignition. Move around the fire to confirm it is completely extinguished. Your quick action can
Alarm is sound to enable emergency evacuation as well to dispatch to local fire department. The components of fire detection system are control panel, heat detector, smoke detection, fuel station, fire alarm box, and notification appliance. Okay, this is the symbol of hose rail, and this is the actual unit of the hose rail. Hose rail should be able to deliver 0.4 liter per second at a distance of 6 meters from the nozzle. And then hose rail should be located in an escape corridor. So this is called rubber hose. This is typically length 30 meters with 25 supply of water is available at the highest rate without the use of pump.
To operate a fire hose reel, turn water onto the hose reel by operating the control valve. Remove the nozzle from its bracket. Proceed to a safe distance from the fire. Turn the water on by operating the nozzle. Direct the water at the base of the flames. Extinguish the fire by using a sweeping action. Always make sure you have a clear line of retreat and you have alerted people nearby. When you have finished with the fire hose reel, return the hose and nozzle to its original stowed position.
A fire door is a door with a fire resistant rating used as part of a passive fire protection system to reduce the spread of fire and smoke between spread compartments of a structure and to enable safe egress from a building or structure or ship.
To locate the fire doors in a building, look for the label on the door edge and on the frame. Labels must be visible and legible because they include important information about the assembly, including the rating, the amount of time the door or frame has been tested to withstand fire. For example, a 20-minute door between a corridor and a hotel guest room is designed to provide 20 minutes of protection. By the way, fire doors are usually rated for a shorter time than the walls around them because the amount of combustible material near an operable door would be lower than a wall where furniture and stored items could create a higher fuel load. Codes determine the required rating for all of a building's components and assemblies. A fire door must be closed and latched during a fire in order to perform as designed and tested. If a fire door is propped open, it will allow the smoke and flames to pass through and is of no value. One of the most important components of a fire door assembly is the closing device. A self-closing door has a door closer or spring hinges, which close the door each time it is opened. Hold-open devices for fire doors must allow the door to close automatically when smoke is detected. These are called automatic closing doors. A fire door may also have an automatic operator, but the operator must be disabled during a fire, and the door will then become self-closing. The active latch bolt required for fire doors keeps the door closed against the pressure from a fire and the force of water from fire hoses. Door manufacturers require a minimum latch throw for lock sets and latch sets used on fire doors. Unless it is part of a lock set, a deadbolt, which can be held in the retracted position, would not provide a positive latch and therefore cannot be used on a fire door. Panic hardware used on fire doors must be fire exit hardware, which cannot incorporate any mechanical dogging mechanism that would hold the latch retracted. Electric latch retraction may be used on fire exit hardware if tied into the fire alarm system, so the latch would project automatically if there were a fire.
This is an external fire hydrant. It's a system of pipework connected directly to provide water for firemen to fight a fire.
Wanted to show you a real quick tutorial on the proper way to open and operate a fire hydrant. So a couple things first. Make sure with your city or county that it's legal for you to use a fire hydrant and tap into the municipal water source. Some it's strictly prohibited, others it's unregulated entirely. Some of them make you get a flow meter. You can rent them at the city offices typically. So make sure you call your city and confirm first. Next, you're going to have the correct tool for the job. You notice these are 5-sided bolts. It is not a 6-sided bolt, which means your wrenches, your vice grips, pliers, channel locks, things like that are not going to work on this. If you try to use them, you're going to strip this right out. It's a copper, so it will strip very easily. You do not want to get caught by the fire department, fire marshal, or city water guys without the right tool. They're not going to be happy. So we take this hydrant wrench, which is a hydrant and spanner wrench, and stick it right on, tighten it up, and you can break these guys loose. Sometimes it takes quite a bit of force. This one's really easy because we've opened it a lot, showing you guys on these videos, but a lot of times these things will be covered in paint, they'll have some corrosion, things like that, so sometimes you got to really work at them, which is why it's good to have the wrench that gives you a lot more leverage. So there we go. I just opened up both sides. By no means do you have to have both sides open. Just did it to show you guys. This is a 4-inch side and this is a 2.5 inch. So I'm going to step in front of the camera here, grab my 2.5 inch hose, and then hook it straight up to the 2.5 inch outlet here. Now if you just tighten this guy hand tight, it'll probably leak a little bit. It's not going to be much, but if you take this spanner wrench side, you can tighten this guy up and get it really tight. That way it's not going to leak or seep on you. And what I'm going to do is flip this guy around. So to open it up and start the water flow, you're going to take the bolt that is completely adjacent to whatever side you're trying to open. So this top one is going to go to the 2.5, whereas this lower one is going to go to the 4. So all you do to open them is stick your hydrant and spanner wrench on and open it right up. So now when you're trying to close these and you're finished, sometimes you'll see that these are leaking. If that's the case, take your hose off and open this guy up, blow some water out, close it back up, and hopefully it'll have removed that debris. Basically that's the gist of operating a fire hydrant. Really simple. You guys can pick up new and used hoses as well as a spanner wrench